What's up, everybody? I'm Blaine. I'm with Brooks, 12th Man Podcast. You know the drill. Brooks back from Paris, and I think there's basically no other place for us to start right now than to talk about Paris Saint-Germain and what the heck is going on. They're struggling in the Champions League. They're struggling in the league. Brooks, you were over there. You went to a game. Why don't you go ahead and give us a debrief us on what the situation is in Paris and the state of affairs?
So game was amazing. Obviously, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think that a lot of the blame has to be kind of put on Pochettino because, they have such an incredible squad. I know it's not easy to get everyone like that to play together, but it's been done often. It's been done in Madrid, it's been done in Barcelona. I think it's been done better in Paris than is being done right now. There are injuries. You just mentioned it that Ramos is out and Messi is out, and Mbappe was out with an ear infection. Hakimi was out for, I guess, was it a red card or something? So
it was a red. Yeah, he got.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. It's tough because I feel like, for example, I wasn't a huge Ronaldo fan the first few games of the season. Even when I was there, I was watching and sending you messages like, this dude is not even there. Like, he's not even running. He doesn't really care. He just keeps losing the ball. He's just like kind of just taking it, driving it into the middle, getting dispossessed, and then just like, oh, well, like, it'll turn around sometime. But yesterday he was amazing. So it's just, is it a matter of time? Is it the coach? Even when they score these goals, like, it's not anything that's like well thought out or drawn up. It's like he was barely onside, had a really great header. It's just, I don't know, like, to be honest, obviously I'm a huge Di Maria fan, but Di Maria created both of the goals, or created one of the goals, scored the other one that I was at. And then yesterday he had that really nice through ball to Mbappe, which Mbappe had a perfect ball for that first goal. So there's a couple things that are working, but it's just like none of it is like plays. It's just these guys. It's kind of just their sheer talent. I don't really know that the coach is really giving them much direction. It's just like they're going out there and doing their thing. So it's really kind of frustrating to watch because you see in the prime years of Barca with all their talent, and in Madrid even, there's just like, there's a really good vibe. There's like, they have a plan. And it's like PSG doesn't have a plan. It looks like, it kind of looks like Arsenal with way better players. It's like there's really no direction, no plan, but they just have so much talent on the field that they can pull it off, if that makes sense.
Nah, bro, it makes complete sense, and I agree with you 100%. Like, with the talent that they have, like go back to Gini Wijnaldum. You saw what Klopp did with him at Liverpool. The guy's a superstar.
Yeah.
Plays for the Dutch team. He's a superstar. He comes into Paris. He looks like a shell of himself until yesterday when he got his brace.
Yeah.
Di Maria is the only guy that's I'd say Di Maria and Mbappe are the only two players that are consistently performing this season, and everyone else pretty much is just mistakes, lethargic, not motivated, kind of just like, I guess people would say, phoning it in, and they have no identity. Like, they're like, you look at that team and it's like there's no like style to the way they play. It's just like, yo, I'm a superstar. I'm gonna do what I have to do to get the ball to you. I'm gonna do what I have to do to get this goal, and like, they're not even registering a ton of shots on goal.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday, like you said, Mbappe got some through balls to him, and he's just, two of them just running as fast as he can at the goalkeeper. No support. Didn't make the shots. Finally, for the last one, he holds it up and tries to get it over to Neymar, and like, I honestly don't even remember. Like, I feel like all of the plays just blew up, and it's just like, because there's no plan.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, just get the ball to Neymar, get the ball to Messi, get the ball to Mbappe. They're going to do something. So he just gets the ball and he just runs, and it's like the rest of the team doesn't know, like, are we holding? Are, like, is he going to hold the ball for us so we can get up? It's like no one's on the same wavelength. And this is what you were saying off camera, and this is exactly what I was thinking yesterday as I watched them struggle against RB Leipzig, is why would Mbappe want to stay at PSG?
Yeah, now that we're this far into the season.
Yeah. It's like he must have known something prior to when he was like, yeah, like, I want to go. Because it's like, you look at it and you're like, okay, you have all these great players on your team. Why would you want to leave? And then it's like, okay, because the coach is a chump.
Yeah, because he's still so young. I mean, he's incredible. He's the like one of the best, maybe the best I've ever seen at that age. Even like physicality, like the build of him at that age is just insane. So but I still think that he needs some coaching. He needs some nurturing. To kind of,
he needs a strong coach.
yeah, which he doesn't have, and it doesn't look like that's going to be anything that Pochettino can like give him. And I don't know if it's, the superstars around them, the superstar mentality that they've all kind of grown into. I don't know. It definitely is, a lot of that blame has to ride on the coach. The other thing that's crazy is like just that the way that Paris as a football club has changed in the, I don't know, I guess more than, I've been going there for about 10 years watching games, and you never had to wait in a 20-minute line to get into the store regardless of COVID or whatever. Like we were waiting, like there were always lines to get into the PSG store just because so many people wanted to go into like PSG. And I know that when they were bought by this ownership group, they wanted to be like a brand, like a lifestyle, like a Balenciaga, like a Louis Vuitton, like rather than a football team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, they've got a suit deal with Dior, the team does. So I don't know. A lot of it is going maybe to your head a little bit, but at that rate, like, yeah, I would want to get out of there and go focus on like the craft of football at a club that has been known to do that, such as Madrid, which is where everyone knows he wants to go. But yeah, it's now looking like maybe that's the best decision for his future, to keep evolving, to keep growing, to keep getting better, because it just doesn't look like it's going to happen in Paris. That being said, is Verratti hurt? I haven't seen him play the last few games. He wasn't playing when I was there. He didn't play yesterday.
He would have to be hurt, yeah, because
the other thing,
he has not been
playing. He hasn't been playing. But speaking about Verratti too, like, there was a couple years ago I was reading this article about how divided that locker room is, specifically when like Cavani and Neymar were going over those like penalty riffs, like who's going to take it. They both get bonuses for X amount of goals, whatever. There was like one guy that like that was like friends with every clique in the locker room. The Brazilians, the Argentines, the Italians, the Spaniards, and it was Verratti, who's just like he kind of seems like a peacemaker anyway, like off the field. Yeah. He's like super lovable, like little guy. I don't know. He's just like works hard for everyone. So I
5'5".
What'd you say?
His height. You said little guy. I'm like, he's 5'5".
Dang, is he really 5'5"?
He's really 5'5".
Gives it all every time he's out there for any team too. So I just think that that's kind of like the nature of him as like a human being too. But he hasn't been there to kind of maybe pull everyone together, to kind of bring them all in. He does that. He kind of has that. He has that a way about him where he can do that both for Paris as well as for the Italian national team. And I think that, there's clearly a lack of leadership. Marquinhos, talk about someone who's also been really great, who's always very consistent. I think Marquinhos is one of those guys. Really good. But I think he's a good vocal captain, but I just don't know if he's like, I don't know, as much of a leader as they need right now. I think maybe they need something else, or not something else, but just something more. Don't know. That doesn't rely on one man, but what were you saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, whether or not Marquinhos should be the captain or not, I guess we could speculate, but they have alternatives. Like you said, Verratti would be a great captain. You may disagree with me here. I think Wijnaldum would also make a great captain if they can find an identity where they can play. Yeah. Like he could he's captain's Netherlands, captain Liverpool. Mm-hmm. He could definitely be the captain. Messi, if he's healthy, he could also be a captain. Yeah. I don't know, if he wants to be the captain of PSG, but everyone respects him, and if he digs in and says like we're gonna grind and we're gonna like play this style, I feel like the team would buy into it.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't think that you have to be a captain to do just that, especially for Messi, like being there just a few months. I think he needs to be like that anyway. But Neymar can be more vocal. I would imagine he can try to like, I don't know, pull the team together, the unit together. I know Mbappe's been vocal a couple of years ago about wanting to take on more responsibility. Like anyone that's had a regular job, or wanted to move up in a company or whatever, like what you're told is like act like you have this position already, and then it will come. And I just don't really know that I see that out there. I don't really see. We watch these guys every single week, whether it's in person or whether it's on Fanati's TV or whatever. Like we're watching them all the time, and I just don't see that sort of leadership that maybe they're lacking.
Starts at the top.
I think you're right.
I blame the coach.
Yeah, totally.
I blame the coach. Man. Because I was reading something somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, we aren't going to talk about Man U, but it was a similar situation with Harry Maguire though, and how he is the captain of Manchester United. It's like, you're not a captain.
No.
You're not. I mean, not saying that all captains have to be winners, but traditionally they are. Like, you're not a captain. No one respects you. You're a senior player, but like, you should not be the captain of Manchester United.
No.
You're not a leader of men. Like, you're not a fearless leader. Like Sergio Ramos, that's a captain.
Absolutely.
That's a captain. Not by way of how he plays, because he gets those cards.
Always.
But like, you'll go to war. Mm-hmm. Like, if he tells you to track back, you are tracking back. Harry Maguire tells you to track back, you're looking at him sideways like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And to that note, like, I don't really know how many. I don't know. I mean, Marcus Rashford, I would work for. Luke Shaw, even. As much as, like, you can say what you will about Luke Shaw, but I think that even he is probably a better option than Harry Maguire. He at least been there longer, but...
Yeah, that's all. That's
Ronaldo, I mean, obviously Anyway, that's...
Yeah, I mean, he's working hard for the team.
He's the only one. I mean, we don't have to get into this, but again, rescued them again yesterday. I was watching that game because I just like to see United lose, like, a little bit of a hater about that. But it's just, even when, I don't know, like, watching him score 2 goals, it was just like, it's just the most impressive thing to see him keep doing that. I was just like, this cannot be. How is this still happening every single week in the Champions League? Kind of died down a bit in the Prem. Yeah, every week.
Yeah. Yo, just goes to show, man. It just goes to show that it's about mentality. It's about the mentality. Like, you don't give up. Yeah. Like, 90 seconds left in the game, you don't give up. Like, last night I had an indoor game. We were up 2 goals. 2 goals we were up at the last, 90 seconds of the game. We drew the game because the opposition did not give up. Yeah. We gave up. We were like, we got this, didn't play the possession game. 2 shots, 2 goals, drew the game 6-6.
Dang.
Man U, yeah, it was bad. Like, I'll be thinking about this for the rest of the week. But Man U, Ronaldo doesn't give up.
No.
RB Leipzig,
right,
playing against PSG, they didn't give up. Like, there's nothing else to say except for, like, it's about mentality. It's about, some people have it, some people don't, and
yeah.
So,
I mean, I kept watching.
That's probably all I have to say about
that. No, you're right. I kept watching Ronaldo at the end of that game. I'm like, dude, like, give it up. Even in the part where he scored, he was like dispossessed, lost the ball. I think like 2 times. Somehow got it back to his feet. He wasn't even looking. He just like, let me just shoot my shot. Draws the game. Yeah, incredible. It's just, say what you will about. I mean, you can like him, you can not like him, you can like Man U, you can not like Man U. It's just incredible to see that.
Yeah, man. Watch him every week.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Premier League, another big headline happened. Tottenham Hotspur, notorious small club, fired small-time manager Nuno Espirito Santo and appointed one of my favorite managers.
Yes, good.
Okay, I can't lie. Antonio Conte, he's good. 1 with Chelsea, 1 with Inter, 1 with Juve. I think it was the 2016 Euros. He was with the coach of Italy.
Yeah, he coached. Yeah, was it that? Yeah, I mean, he coached them.
Yeah. Terrible Italian team. I think he brought him to the quarterfinal.
Yeah. Terrible
Italian team. Nothing like the ones that just won the Euros, but he still took that Italian team to the quarterfinal. The same year Italian team that didn't qualify for the last World Cup. He took him to a quarterfinal in the Euros. Amazing manager. Hitched his boat to Tottenham. What the heck? What do you think is going to happen because of this appointment?
So wait, did you say that he was their original first choice at the beginning of the season?
I thought when they let Punch go, I know that
Okay.
they were in talks because he left Inter because they didn't spend because they're like, yo, we're not going to
Yeah,
do
we
it. We
can't
got
do
to
it.
sell you
Yeah.
players. We're selling your son. Your son is leaving, and Hakimi's also leaving. He's like, Lukaku leaves, I leave. I'm done. He walked away. I know he had talks with Spurs, and he was like basically like, I need you guys to bring my coaching staff because he's notorious, man. He has like an entourage of coaches that he brings with him. He's like, I need to bring like all 10 of my guys. They're like, yo, we can only bring 3. And he was like, I'm out, and he didn't take the job.
Okay.
And then somewhere along the lines, they made more offers and finally ended up with Nuno Espirito Santo. That lasted like 12 games or 11 games or whatever.
Yeah.
So
they got their man
at
basically.
Least, I mean, they got their man after the transfer window had closed. And I mean, skeptics would say like maybe, they told him no, knowing that they would fire whoever they didn't get and then bring him in at a point where they didn't have to spend money. Conspiracy theories.
That's interesting.
I don't know if I believe that. I think they just make bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, going back the history of that club, it was a bad decision.
Yeah, just a series of bad decisions. It's like my philosophy is like, if you're gonna do it, just do it right. Like if you're gonna do, like, say you need a better coach, and you know who that coach is, just do
do what it takes.
You know you need a striker, just do what it takes to get that striker.
Yeah.
Like, you know who your man, you know what your target is, go get your target.
Yeah.
Don't settle for less, especially if you don't have to. So they got their man. I'm just going to put it out here right here for everyone to hear me say it. Love Conte, hate Spurs. I'm not conflicted. I don't want to see them do well. And I don't think Conte, as good as he is, I don't think he can do anything to improve this team, because at the end of the day, Kane still wants to leave, and he's still not going to perform. And there's only so much Heung-min Son can do.
Yeah.
That's basically how I see it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I think he's an incredible manager. Really was, hoping that that Arsenal would, there were talks obviously about getting rid of Arteta, and then, one of the rumors was bringing in Conte. That would have been amazing. But now that he's on the other side of North London, I was like, I'm a little nervous, but then I remembered, I'm like, oh no, still the Spurs. And Harry Kane, you're right. He doesn't want to be there. Son can only do so much. Yeah. Kane doesn't really do anything right now. I mean, he every single week after Tottenham, we're like, dude, like, should they have just sold him? Because he clearly doesn't want to be there. His value is seemingly dropping unless people still rate him that highly. Just know that he doesn't want to be there, so he's just not playing to his how good he can. But I don't think. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that Conte can do anything special with this club. Maybe top 6, 7. They just don't look good.
Let's think about it. Let's think about it. So, like, squad for squad. So we'll just establish a top 4: Manchester clubs, Liverpool, Chelsea. Okay. Let's just say that's the top 4. This team I'm wearing right now, West Ham United. Tottenham's not better than West Ham United. Arsenal. They're still not better than Arsenal. No. That's 6 clubs right there.
Yeah, and the difference with those
Leicester.
2 clubs is you can see the West Ham has like a plan, and Arsenal have a plan. Tottenham have 0 plan. They're just like trying to just like pour a little water on the fire and hope that it'll die out. But they have no plan. It's just like, oh, now let's bring in this guy. Now let's bring in this guy. Let's get rid of him. Let's bring in this guy. It's just they have no plan. They have no long-term plan.
No long-term plan. And their best player, alleged best player, doesn't want to be there. So unless they say, hey, we're going to sell Harry Kane for whatever he wants, we'll let him go in January, and they can find, I don't even know who they could bring in to turn it around. No. And they, like, if they gave Conte, like, yo, you can sign 4 guys in January, and we'll sell Kane, and we'll sell Dele Alli, maybe you could put something together, and maybe finish that. But at that point, from now until, like, let's say January 1st, I don't think they could make up the difference to get themselves in a position to finish top 6. And then there's still Leicester, too. I don't think they're better than Leicester. So, I don't, you know.
Yeah, because they have, I'm just looking this up real quick. They have, in the Prem, they have Everton next in a couple of days. Then after that, it's Leeds. It's like not a terribly difficult schedule, but I don't think they could beat Everton right now, and I don't think they could beat Leeds right now. I mean, then it's Burnley, then it's Brentford, and it's Norwich. So
Brentford's going to give them a game.
yeah,
Brighton's going to give them a game.
who?
Graham Potter's going to give them a game.
Yeah.
Brighton.
Yeah.
You saw like these are all.
Then it's Leicester. Then it's Liverpool. Then it. Yeah. I mean, I just don't. I think you're right. Like they're already so far down, and then
Yeah. Well, keep going. So who's after Liverpool? West Ham, Crystal Palace. They're not beating either of those teams.
By the way, Crystal Palace. Shout out to Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira. We can't go a week without saying this.
They're not beating them. Yeah. Say it.
Your boy Gallagher, Conor Gallagher is. I can't believe Chelsea is letting him just stay there.
Yo, he'll be back in blue next season.
Yeah, probably. But still, yeah, I think you're right. I think you bring up a really good point. Like, Tottenham just really kind of can't dig themselves out of the position that they're currently in. They're probably just going to get worse. It's just not easy. Also, like, getting a manager now, like November, it's just super odd. He's going to bring in a whole new changes. Unless they're the type of guys that can just jump on board with a new routine and, like, rally around him, which clearly they are not, because they've never been able to do that with any of the coaches that they've hired in the last few years. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I don't think that he's the guy to bring them, maybe even, I don't know, top 10, but 7,
We'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah, so one last thing I'll say about Spurs. So to piggyback up what you said, the players aren't the type to rally around a manager. So you remember, Ponch got fired. They brought in Jose Mourinho. Say what you will about him. He typically, to one degree or another, he will produce a result for your team.
Yeah.
He got Spurs. So I guess Ponch got him to a Champions League final.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, this Liverpool, let's be real. You weren't going to beat Liverpool. You weren't going to beat Liverpool in the Champions League final. Let's be honest. That's never going to happen. So he gets them to a FA Cup final, Mourinho does. And the coach or the owner's just like, you know what? Let's fire him. Let's go ahead and it's almost like you don't want to,
yeah.
You don't want your team to be successful. It's like you haven't had a legitimate trophy for as long as I've been alive, I'm pretty sure. You got a guy who got you to the point. You are on the cusp of getting a trophy. 3 days before, you're like, you know what? Cut him. Send him. Deactivate his badge. He can't get on the premises. We're gonna bring in a kid who has no idea what he's doing, and that's that. And they're still losers. Oh well, that's it. I'm done. I have nothing else to say about it. They're not gonna be successful. They probably never will until there's a huge shift in mentality from the ownership, and they let players go that have been there too long and don't want to be there.
Yeah, they're just holding on to what they had.
To be honest, yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Which is a Champions League final. And an almost Premier League championship run if it wasn't for Leicester City, who has been a better team than them for the majority of the subsequent seasons. So
this is just a thing I've been seeing on Twitter, and I'm just kind of throwing it out there, and I didn't tell you about this before this call, but there's been a lot of talk because Tomiyasu came out and was like, oh, Tottenham wanted me, but then when I heard Arsenal wanted me, I said, drop this right here, let me go to Arsenal instead. Do you think Emerson is better? Because the Tottenham fans are now saying, no, it's because we got Emerson. Right now, like, who do you think is better? Do you think it's Emerson or do you think it's Tomiyasu?
Well, Emerson, I mean, so he came from Barcelona, right? We're talking about Emerson Royale, yeah. He hasn't played great in the Premier League. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Your boy in Arsenal, he's played great.
Really has.
Royale hasn't. Emerson has not played great for Tottenham. Is he a better or worse player? I don't know.
Yeah, don't know either.
Would Tomiyasu, if I'll put it to you like this, if he played for a different team, I think he would be better. I don't think Spurs could say that they would prefer him over your boy.
That's crazy. Yeah, I agree. I think that, like, I thought Emerson was going to be the better signing, but based off of, when they both come in, Tomiyasu's, I think, performed much better. And the defense as a whole, obviously, has performed much better. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with Ramsdale coming in, but that being said, I'm with you on that. I think that right now, Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. one last thing, just another
Yeah.
tidbit for the fans at home. So, just in that same vein, one of my former Gunner, former Chelsea player, one of my favorite players of all time, Willian, he was in the same situation as Tomiyasu, believe it or not. But instead of Arsenal, it was Chelsea. So
Oh.
Tottenham were like, yo, come join us. And he's like, okay, yeah, maybe, come play in the Premier League. Then Chelsea was like, taps on his shoulder, wait, we actually want you to play for us. He had the medical at Spurs, no-showed, just ghosted him, went straight down to Stamford Bridge and signed the same day. That's a true story. He tells the story. He's like, yeah, like when I heard Chelsea was like interested, like I just blocked them and didn't. Like the consideration was no longer being considered.
Wow.
Like the choice was clear. So it's like, and I think, and that's just the damning accusation to Spurs that if there's ever a choice between pretty much any other club in London, you're going.
Yeah.
Then Spurs, like Arsenal wants you, done. Crystal Palace wants you, done. Chelsea wants you, done. West Ham wants you, done. At this point, you would probably even go to Brentford.
Right.
And I'm not hating. I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying,
No, I'm with you, and it's just that just makes me wonder, like, what exactly did they say to Conte to get him at this point? Like, he said no at the beginning of the season, but he says yes now. Was it a whole bunch of money? Was it everything they said no to him previously? Were they like, yes, whatever you want, yes, just get here, bring whoever you need?
Yeah. I mean, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
I would just have to think it would have to be it would have to be all of the above. Crazy salary, bring your whole staff, and they had to at least have promised him at least 100 to 150 pounds in transfers in January.
Dang.
And that has to be in writing. But I mean, if not, maybe he just got bored and thought another team would pick him up, in August, and no one did, and he's like, okay, I'm sitting around the house, and the wife's like, you got to get a job.
Yeah.
And but it's like, I don't know, dude. If I was a manager, I would never take those jobs, though. It's like everyone wants to say, like, oh yeah, like I think I could be the manager to come here and make change.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I think this is only going to ruin your reputation and put like a blemish on your resume.
Absolutely. I mean, totally. Especially when you see, I don't know who actually. Would you rather have Jose Mourinho or Conte coach your team?
Conte.
Okay. But you don't think Jose Mourinho is that far worse than him, like much worse than him, right? No. It's okay, but you would still just, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, but also like just having seen Jose Mourinho essentially not even fail, but just not live up to maybe what he could have done or should have done, but then just get fired out of right, like you said, like making it to the FA Cup final and then firing him. I mean, that doesn't look good for anyone. I just would not want to be a part of that type of organization. It's just not going to, it could tarnish your legacy, I guess, because he killed it in the Premier League. How many seasons was he with Chelsea? Was it 2 or was it only 1?
2.5.
Okay, won the league. Sends the text saying, hey, you know what? Actually, we don't need you anymore. Thank you.
Stay in Brazil, Diego.
Stay in Brazil. Yeah. That dude.
He pissed all the Brazilians off.
Yeah. So.
And he pissed Hazard. Dude, he pissed the whole team off after they won the league.
Oh, he pissed Hazard off too?
They were all mad, dude.
What happened?
Faithful. I think he was just too harsh, dude. He was like, Conte. He's like training hard. He's telling them they can't have sex.
Really?
Yeah, dude. He's just like a tyrannical coach. Like he's not a long-term coach at all. Like he comes in, he gets you to believe, and things turn toxic. Like people to compare him to Jose Mourinho is the same, not in terms
similar.
of like philosophy, but like personality and attitudes are very similar to where like they can come in, they can pump your team up, get them all going, and then the minute things start to go south, like things turn toxic, and you'll still get the results, but they resent you and they hate you.
Okay.
And it's like they're playing out of fear.
And then 18 months go by and you're gone. Results turn sour.
3 or 4 trophies in your cabinet, and you leave, and it's like, you know what, next generation of players, we might bring you back and we can do this dance again.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, and that's just kind of, I guess, to the earlier point, I just feel like while he's a great coach, is this Spurs need something long term. They need something like what we don't think Ollie's the man, like we've already talked about this, but kind of what they're doing. They're sticking with someone. They're doing a long-term rebuilding. Arsenal, I guess, is a better example. They're buying young. They have a plan. They have a coach that they're going to obviously stick with for a long time. It seems to be working. West Ham, the shirt you're wearing right now, David Moyes, amazing. He knows how to build it into a club. He did the same thing at Everton. I feel like that's what that club needs. Not a man that's going to run it, like you said, just be a tyrant for 18 months, maybe get a trophy, and then everyone will piss.
Here's the clubs Conte would work at right now. Manchester City, Manchester United. In the Premier League.
Yeah.
PSG.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all teams, like he could take PSG to a Champions League final and probably get them.
I think you're right.
And then they would all hate his guts, but they would win the trophy. Man U could win the league with Antonio Conte as their coach. Spurs, they're a lost cause. Like best case scenario, you get them into Europa League.
Yeah, I think that is I think that if that happens, they should be very happy. But I don't think it's anything higher than that. Like that's it.
But it's like to be a coach at your caliber, it's like why take a job where the bar is just to qualify for the secondary European competition? Like you can do so much better than that. But anyway.
Yeah, enough about them.
Okay, let's switch gears, Brooks. We got to send some prayers up.
Yeah.
We got to get, a little bit sentimental. Bad stuff in Barcelona. Kun Aguero, heart issues, cardiovascular issues.
Yeah.
3 months.
3 months.
Did he have surgery? So, is Barcelona cursed?
It seems like it. I mean, I hate to say that and to kind of go down that road, but it seems like it, doesn't it?
Someone had to curse the club. Like Messi leaves, Kun comes in. He's injured. Was he injured when he got there, or did he get injured after he got there?
I think that he came in injured. I think it's one of those things where it's like you pass the physical, but you know that there's this little issue. They didn't think it would be this long, but it ended up being this big of an issue. But this was obviously unrelated to why he wasn't starting the season.
Oh yeah, because that was like his knee.
Yeah.
This is his chest.
Yeah. We've seen this with Christian Eriksen not long ago. I mean, far different.
Yeah.
He actually collapsed on the pitch. Kun Aguero was like, I'm feeling something funny here. Like I got to come off. So it's super scary. I mean, I don't like to see this happen to any player on any team, any country. Like it's very, very scary, and hopefully he's fine. But 3 months, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, you probably just, wow, yeah, jeez. Jeez. I do you risk coming back? Is it worth coming back at this point in your career?
Yeah, that age, you've won almost everything already. Barca's not winning anything anytime soon. So, you have a son, a family. I don't know. That's a really scary thing because I don't know. My question is what are you seeing in a medical? I know that this stuff can and does obviously just creep up and pop up, but I feel like with the kind of, I don't know, the technology that these clubs have and the money and the doctors, nearly everyone goes to Barcelona to heal. They have really good, at least surgical operations there with muscular and bone things. But it's really scary when these things aren't seen. I mean, you see everyone in those those heart weird vest things that are always monitoring you. I don't know. I wish that could be picked up and not have to wait till someone's collapsed or nearly collapsed on the field of play to realize that there's an issue. So it's just very scary. Yeah, if you're that age, and I know that you're a competitor and you want to continue to play as long as you can, but I don't know, maybe if you were still at City or somewhere, maybe PSG that had a bit more of some promise at the end of this season or the next, you would want to keep playing. But
Yeah.
at Barcelona, I mean, it seems like your best days are
Run
behind
yourself
you.
ragged for what?
Yeah, for what?
Yeah, run yourself ragged for what?
Yeah, so that's a good
I
question.
mean, yeah. I mean, obviously Aguero's setback is more serious than the fact that it like has to do with his
Yeah.
heart. But I mean, another guy that just came back from injury, Ousmane Dembele, out. He was out for like 4 months. Comes back for like all of 25 minutes, and he's out again for. I mean, I don't know how long it is. It might only be like maybe 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Let's see.
Was it his hamstring, or was he had just come back from his hamstring, or both?
Listen, so it's his or it's his thigh.
His thigh.
Hamstring, thigh. I guess they're the same thing. But I don't know why he was. I can't remember why he was out the first time because I mean he's out so much.
Yeah,
It's like
it's sad.
could be anything. It could. Yeah, it's sad. Like it true. Like yeah, I won't dwell on it. It's just sad. It's sad. Like a kid with so much promise is so fragile and just can't stay fit. It's like almost like Daniel Sturridge.
Oh yeah.
Except worse, because Daniel Sturridge. I mean, at least he would play enough to like get like a golden boot.
Yeah, he had a couple good,
And-
like, pretty injury-free seasons.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess Dembele had some injury-free seasons in Dortmund,
Dortmund.
but ever since he came to Catalonia,
Yeah.
it's like he can't put more than 5 games together, and in this case, more than 2 for the last 2 seasons. But
It's insane. Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, again, I don't know. It's really, it's like tragic, you know? And I don't know if this has to do with, because he was playing at a young age too. He's definitely a different build than Mbappe. Like Mbappe seems to have a more like physical build, maybe like mature build too, like to his body and like his muscles and everything. But I know this is way off base here, but I just kind of relate Dembele and what keeps happening to him with like, I grew up in Los Angeles, so like a lot of horse racing, and you know it's not the greatest thing, but you raise these horses that run in like the Kentucky Derby and these high races are super young. Like I believe they're less than 3 years old, maybe it's less than 5 years old. So they're not fully developed. They're continually hurting themselves, and I don't know if that has anything to do with like maybe what's going on here with these muscular issues that he's having. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say, but I really feel super bad for him because he's got so much talent, man. So fast. And you said it before this call. You were like, yo, he came on the pitch and he just changed the entire pace of the game. He has the ability to do that.
yeah, well, yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, at least he won a World Cup. So if he retires tomorrow,
World Cup winner.
he still achieved more.
Yeah.
Yeah, still achieved more than the majority of the guys in the sport.
How old is he?
24.
Oh, jeez.
He's getting on in his career, but dude, it's like I feel like people still think he's young because it's like when he came to Barcelona, he was like
20, right? 21?
21 or something like that. Yeah, and it's like, but he's only had. Get this, okay? How many appearances do you think he's had for
Well,
Barcelona?
does it say when he got there?
2017.
This is 4th year. I mean, I guess you would think that he's got at least 50, 70. I mean, because he's been hurt.
Yeah, he's done better. Yeah, but he 81 all
In
competitions.
not just in La Liga. You're talking about every competition.
Yeah, all competitions. Yeah, all competitions. Yeah, La Liga. Yeah,
That's sad.
yeah, that's so sad.
Because you can play that nearly in a year. You got, what, 30-something La Liga games. You've got Champions League. You've got Copa.
You
you've got...
can get 50 games. Yeah, Barcelona plays at least 50 competitive matches.
year,
this season,
yeah.
So,
Dang.
and he's at like a season and a half after 4. So, like, I'm trying to find a player like that would have come to Barcelona in the same time period.
Look up Frankie de Jong. I wonder how many he's played in. Because he came just, what, 2 years ago? Maybe 3?
Yeah, let's look at De Jong then and see what he's at. Frankie FDJ. Where's that Dutch flag? Not Memphis.
Dang, that's sad.
He's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Oh, weird. I don't see him on the roster, but
What?
obviously he plays. Frankie. Okay, there's... Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's also 24 years old, and he came to Barca 2019, so 2 years after, right?
2 years after, and he has... The wiki says he has 74 appearances.
And that's just in the league, right?
Yeah.
100... Oh,
Yeah.
70... Yeah, 74. Wow.
That's... So in half the time, he's basically the same amount of games as Ousmane Dembele, and I mean, he wasn't even a starter for the entirety of his time there. Like, he's only recently become like a full-time starter. That's so weird. Well, it's not weird. I mean, it makes sense because the guy's always injured. It's just unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, you kind of can't help but wonder, is Barcelona cursed? Lose Messi. Aguero has a heart issue. Dembele can't put more than 2 games together. They're in more debt than the United States. I don't know, like, they got it bad.
Yeah.
However, Messi did say he wants to come back as, what, a sporting director or something?
Yeah, which...
Just a couple days ago he said that?
I mean, I didn't know that, but it would only make sense, right?
Yeah. It's...
Your life is still in Barcelona.
And that's what he said, and that's another reason that it's kind of like... People are kind of hating on him because he hasn't scored a goal in Liga. He's got a couple in Champions League, but it's just hard. Like, you moved there when he was, what, 12? 11? He's never been to a different system, ever. Like, this dude grew up, basically, aside from Newell's, he grew up playing the Barcelona system for over 20 years. Just like... And he comes to a PSG with essentially no system. We can't see any, not to bring it back there, but...
Yeah, I blame it on the lack of the system. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, obviously people are going to hate because there's always the debate
between
subject A and subject B. But, like, if Messi got installed, let's say Messi went to Liverpool, it'd be a completely different story. Even
City, the other rumor, I wish he would have... Now I'm like, dang, he should have gone to City, reunited with Pep, but...
Yeah. I mean, I always wanted Ronaldo to go back to Man U
Totally.
and Messi to go play for Pep at Man City.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as far as, like, from, like, a career perspective and, like, what I think would be best for Messi, like, in terms of, like, nothing to prove, but at the same time, proving yourself in another league and doing the best. I mean, I think we all thought he would do better in Paris, and he still has time to do great things in Paris, but just, it's evident that things aren't good for anybody in Paris, and Messi's just a casualty of a poor system.
Yeah.
Currently.
Even Neymar, I mean, you brought it up again before this call, like, he just has had probably the worst season in his career, but they just don't look like they really care that much. It's got to just be lack of coaching and direction and a plan. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Ronaldo did always seem... I get that this was like pretty quick for Messi, but it seems like every move Ronaldo makes, maybe aside from this one, this was more like his heart than anything. But it's like he's always gone where he knows he will perform strongly. Madrid, he was the main man there when he went. Obviously, Man U, he was incredible. Then he goes to the strongest team in Italy, which, frankly, they should have done better. I feel like maybe had they not had that last season with Pirlo, maybe it would have gone better.
Blame it on the coach.
Yeah, and that's not Ronaldo's fault either.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, and here, I agree, because it's not... He got the golden boot his last season in Juventus. So all I'm saying is, like, if you scored the most goals in the league... And you look at what Inter did. Inter didn't win because they outscored you. They won because they didn't give up as many goals. Because their coach wasn't an idiot.
Yeah.
Andreas Pirlo is not a good coach.
Yeah, at least not for his very first role coaching that team.
Like, I think he was, like, maybe on for, like, a week or a month or something with, like, the, like, Juventus, like, under 20s or something. And then goes straight to the top and gets the big job. Didn't work.
No.
Ronaldo don't respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sad. Like 98 games at Juventus to 81 goals.
Jeez.
But you still don't win the league. And your coach gets fired.
Yeah.
It's like it's clearly like yeah. Because like I mean Juventus it's yeah we're not gonna.
I mean, even now they're not doing great, right? I mean, they're better in Champions League. They're
No.
top of the group in Champions League, but they're barely top 10 in Serie A.
In the league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another bad decision, dude. They need. Yeah, they've lost their way. I kind of like it. I don't mind it. I don't mind when big clubs lose their way.
Same.
Because now Serie A is so much more.
So good, man. That's I'm telling you again. I'm gonna say this again. This my favorite. It's my favorite league to watch right now. You got Milan. You got.
I wish it was still on ESPN.
I do too. It's the worst. CBS or whatever. Paramount is the worst.
Yeah.
But you got Ibra scoring bangers at the age of 40 still, which is amazing to see that. Roma top 4 with Jose Mourinho. Roma needs to do a little bit better away from home. Roma just needs to, Anyway, I know we're not really going down that road, but I'm excited. They're top 4. What?
No, I was just saying, yeah, but it's very entertaining.
It's super entertaining. Yeah, I want Tammy Abraham to start coming through a little bit more too, but.
Yeah, he started strong. It's kind of tapered. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens this weekend in the Italian leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But so wait, do you think AC Milan's gonna win, or who are you calling for Serie A? AC Milan, Napoli.
I mean, so it's still a long season. Looks like the only reason Napoli is ahead is just by goal difference. I mean, I just want Milan to win, or if it's, I mean, I want Roma to win. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that. Milan can do it, but you still got Inter, which is really surprising to see them at third.
Yeah, they're ramping up.
They are. I think that Milan can do it. I hope they will do it anyway. That's who I want to see win it. If it's not Milan, it'd be cool to see Napoli, but I hope that it's either AC Milan or Roma. I just want Roma to at least make Champions League again. Like, let's just get back to Champions League nights in Rome. And then we could start talking about winning the league again. But I don't know. I mean, it sounds like I think AC Milan can hopefully pull it out, but it's probably gonna not work out that way.
It's a long season, but yeah, we'll see. It's like it's still 11 games in. Come January, we'll have a much better idea of who's gonna do what. But
yeah,
I think it could be any of those 4. I even think Roma could still figure it out. I mean,
they can,
down like 12 points.
Yeah,
I think they could still, like, it's not as hard as it looks. A couple draws from a couple teams above you, drop a couple points, you still go head to head. You could easily be, it's a long season.
Roma just needs to beat.
It's 38
games.
Yeah,
we're 11 in. They lost again to Milan, which they got to beat these teams if they're gonna. Chad said it. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's you got to beat the best to be the best, but. The big thing here I see is like the goals allowed. Napoli's only let 3 goals in. That's crazy. When you've got Milan letting in 15. Yeah. Roma only let in 7, but they can only score 12. Like 19, I guess. So wait a minute.
Who's the keeper? Who's the keeper at Napoli? Is it still Ospina?
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
But they have a good back line. Merritt.
Yeah, Alex Merritt.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, Ospina's still on the bench though, I guess I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched them play this season, but shout out to Colombia. Shout out to David Ospina, one of the best ever. Do it.
This kid Alex Merritt is 24.
Huh. Got 10 years on David. He's 34. Goalkeepers can play forever.
Seriously, Peter Cech.
All right, bro.
All right.
Let's think. Okay, so I think we're almost at the end of the show. Was there anything else? I feel like there was one more topic we wanted to get into before we called it.
I don't remember.
Maybe not. Maybe we got him.
I think so. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win the Serie A?
If off of right now, I would just say Napoli.
Yeah.
I would say Napoli. I want Inter to win, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you like Inter.
But, we'll see. Shout out to Dzeko. Shout out to Lautaro.
Yeah, totally.
Vidal, Barella, all those boys. You know what I'm saying? Handanovic, but Brazanovic. They got crazy players. Even Perisic. They got a lot
They're
of
still
crazy.
stacked.
Matter, though.
They lost their coach.
They're
and
still
two.
a good team. They just lost two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And I mean, getting Dzeko as a short term, he's scoring He's scoring those goals.
yeah, with Lautaro on up with him, I think that's not a bad pairing. I was kind of hoping Roma would get rid of him anyway, but for Roma, I like Tammy Abraham better. I think that he gives a little bit more than Dzeko does, but I don't think Dzeko needs to give as much for Inter than we wanted him to give at Roma.
Yeah.
But that being said, Milan does play Inter this Sunday.
Oh well.
Paramount Plus.
San Siro derby.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta be sure to watch that now. I didn't know. I hadn't looked ahead, so I'm glad to know that. I hadn't ordered any of my Inter jerseys.
Oh.
I ordered them this week. They get here Friday, so
Did you get a name?
I'll be breaking one of those in. I got the white one with the snake. I think I got Lautaro, and then I got the third kit, the black one with like the pride, like their pride jersey.
Nice.
I got Dzeko.
Oh, you
Or
did?
Barella. I can't
Nice.
remember. Yeah.
Um,
But I hate their home kit. So
I do too.
I'll buy it unless it goes on sale.
I think the best kit in Serie A is who's playing Roma this week. Venezia. Those kits, especially when Nike made them, obviously like big fanboy, but every Venice kit looks so good. I'm actually gonna make my list.
Didn't they just get like a special edition one?
And
recently?
everything they make for them is amazing. They're always having such good kits.
Yeah, I always see them on footy headlines.
So good. I gotta find an old Nike one
Yeah.
from like the last season.
I didn't even know Nike made
They
things, to be honest.
did until this year. Which is,
Really?
yeah, because
Okay.
it's weird because when Crystal Palace was in the lower leagues, Nike was making their jerseys too. And then when they came up to the Prem, they stopped. So same thing with Venezia. They've kept making Brightons though when they were in the lower leagues.
Oh,
You see?
that's amazing.
Which one?
That it looks like it's black with orange and green horizontal
Is
stripes.
it this year's?
No, the Nike from
Yeah,
last year.
I gotta find that. If you can find that, let me know. I want to pick that up.
That's hot. Oh man, I didn't know. But yeah, I saw those Crystal Palace Nike kits.
Yeah.
I actually, true story, I was trying to find one on eBay, a used one to buy, but no one's selling. No
Really?
one's selling.
I would love a Zaha Nike one from when they were in the championship. I'm happy that Venezia is staying up so far. They're in 16th, so that'll be cool to keep seeing them in the in Serie A. I would love to have them stay up.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, dude, I didn't know. Like, I only started noticing their Kappa ones because they keep getting featured on footy headlines.
Yeah.
Because it's such cool concepts and designs. But
Yeah.
I did not know Nike was their supplier.
Yeah, I gotta find some of those old ones. But yeah, even the Kappa ones look amazing. That's actually, I know that I'm late on this, but I think that's what like my top 5 in the list that we're doing of the top 10. They're in my top 5.
Let's get that list
Yeah.
going. Let the people know.
All right, this was fun.
All right, guys. Well, that's probably it. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Think that's it, Brooks?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, guys, it's the 12 Men Podcast. Thanks for spending time with us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Cool.
I'm going to stop recording. I got to get one of these Venice